busy. No matter what I do, I'm really, really tired of being a teacher and then also dad. Yeah. So the music stuff and everything around it, I have to really try and fit it in. Sometimes it's not so comfortable, but I'm happy we're on the phone now. How are things?
Oh, I'm good. What about you? And thanks for taking the time out. I'm with my my co-host Elle, and she's
hi.
How you doing?
How both of you doing?
We're doing good. We're doing good. We're so happy to talk with you, but we know you're busy. We can postpone this to next week if you like. We don't want to overwhelm you. We just,
No, it's cool. We can talk for around 20 or so. I remember there was something technically wrong with our last interview. It wasn't as usual. So my memory serves me correct. Yeah, I'm happy to do it, and I want to still share my voice and my perspectives and perception. So yeah, I'd much rather do it now because this is the slow night. Children are in bed, my wife is asleep, and is going to bed. So it's a perfect opportunity.
Okay, perfect. We won't keep you long. We'll be as short and direct as possible. So how have you been?
I've been good. We not so long ago, Christmas vacation or Christmas holiday came and went. So maybe a little bit of bouncing back after those holidays regarding work or this may be the most spending time of the year regarding the holiday. So just trying to get back where you were financially, and of course look back on Christmas how nice it was, and moving forward in the progress. So I've been doing well. Super busy, as I was mentioning. Working on a new album, The Reincarnation of the Body of the Life Force. It's really a slow process. So sometimes mentally, maybe I want to be more ahead of how we must release it, like song by song. Maybe we're going to release the whole out, or at least 50% of the album, so that's around 9 songs, with some promo, with videos, with content around it for the social media space, and just still trying to find that dynamic on the business side. Because when you do music, it is a business, and those positive, let's say, business moves or connections definitely tie into the longevity of a lot of artists. And I'm seeing, as an independent, as I was signed to a label in the early 2000s, once I broke off independently, I never really had the strongest team. I never really had the right strategies. Luckily, I think I had good music, so it kind of it's a little buffer zone when your music is liked, but just in terms of the bureaucratic or administrative part of actually, we call it working your record or working your craft. It's very, very, very difficult, and I think we're at the most, I would say maybe the most insecure position at the moment in terms of artists who come out and their viability, their track record. Sometimes it matches up, sometimes it doesn't. It's just such a, let's say, unpredictable space, releasing music, looking to prepare your career. I think it's at the greatest time it ever could have been, but at the same time, the technology is a beast, and finding a way to transcend our creative side and use the internet in terms of transcendence as well as strategy to, if you want to say, be as successful as possible through this level of connection to the market is really difficult to accept, although we do accept it. However, it's like another world,
Well, I think you're headed in the right direction, because I was introduced to your music by Host D, and I've been seeing it on social media. And I'm like, oh, good. I've been talking to people about you trying to get them giving the buzz out for you. So
yes, we both.
Yeah, so we've been indirectly promoting you here.
That's very honorable, and I applaud you and just appreciate it and very much needed. So I guess I can fill you in just really briefly. I'm readying the new single now. I can't say the first, but maybe your entity could be one of the first to kind of maybe promote it as like a second party. So it's the remake of the original Trilogy of Terror. Was maybe my first single B-side, or it was a single that never made the album. I'm not sure why. Guru was on the song. Yeah, myself, Hannibal Stax, and Guru, kind of a horrific kind of edge to me, because I've always been a spiritual rapper or someone who talks about meditation and martial arts or the right motivation and things of that nature. But the Trilogy of Terror just was really like left field, like almost horror, as an alter ego kind of song, aimed at the kind of the most negative side of you could imagine. It was on the Trilogy of Terror, kind of serial killer style lyrics. So I remade the song. No Guru's no longer with us, R.I.P. And Hannibal Stax, I didn't ask him to rejoin me, but it's myself with Rockness Monster from Helter Skelter. So in the next couple of weeks, once I let it go on my own platforms, I'll send it over to you via WhatsApp, like some write-up about the song, as well as the video, and how I would appreciate you, let's say, being my second and my third and fourth arms.
Okay.
Yes. We're honored to.
The two of you, or your podcast. Is it a podcast or is it an online magazine?
Podcast.
Okay. Nice one. So while I'm talking now, like photos of me will be like put up on the visual side of it?
We can. We'll be glad to. We just want to have your express written consent before we did anything. We were going to ask you, could we put some posters or some pictures of you up on our...
Just pick some nice ones that have me in a good likeness. I don't think I've ever seen a bad photo of me online, whether I like the photo or not. So
right,
you can use your better judgment.
Okay. Yeah, because we just wanted to make sure. We didn't want to be infringing without your permission. Definitely.
I'm all in with the interviews, and I look forward to helping, aid you and catapulting your voice to the public, and it's really needed, and I really appreciate it. Many people have talked about this kind of separation in the music, or the younger generation maybe not as if you want to say, it's hard to say righteous, but they're just totally opposite of the, let's say, older school side of hip hop. And
right.
But I think it's our fault we didn't have the podcast, let's say, in 2003 or 4 or 5, so there wasn't a lot of sharing of the culture, sharing to the world about the artists, what they do, what the music was. There's so many layers of the culture that I think the kind of new wave, not to say that they are absent of the hip hop culture, but I don't think the older generation did enough to make an argument that the new school doesn't respect or honor the old school. I don't think we did the right, let's say, we didn't do our due diligence, if you could say.
Yeah.
Right. I get exactly what you're saying. I mean, it's a clash of old and new, as it's saying in the Bible, and we just got to try to bridge the gap the best way we can with that.
Exactly. And also the technological side of it. It's funny to think about it that I'm relying on a theoretical premise that does have a complexity, let's say a triggered complexity that adds on to views and making things viral. However, it's totally synthetic. It is it's a little bit bizarre that instead of that we can actually rely on social media numbers and views and likes, and we've kind of created this self-awareness that actually isn't. And it's very funny that I'm thinking about a social media, you want to say a social media marketing plan, how we'll market the next single for the 8 weeks. We will really, let's say, like, move behind the record. And it's all about social media. Of course, there will be a post on social media to attract publicity, people like yourselves to do an interview or talk about the record, talk about the if you want to say the bravery to redo that song, and also the motivation and how it's a lot that goes into that. So social media, it's real, it's here, but to be an artist and kind of be a bit creative, and you want to be respected and honored, it's a level of creativity to, let's say, work the social media or the technical side of the platforms where you can be as productive as possible, but so hard. And there's even like TikTok or Instagram, there are so many layers to those platforms that most normal people don't know how to strategize content on the platform. We're kind of all just going how things seen and where popularity is. We kind of go behind that, and even at times some people don't. They want to be different all the time. They don't want to reissue posts and things like that. So the artistry is there. The songs are there. However, there's this whole social media digital presence that's respected, or you want to say frowned upon, or not interesting, and regardless of the sound or quality of music artists make.
Yeah, there are so many moving parts, and it's I agree, it's very difficult. This is a new age, and you just have to keep pushing forward, and eventually it'll catch. You got to think in terms of that way.
I forget who it was. I think it might have been Gary V. Because there's so many different layers to the element of social media and building of content, and then tagging your content or placing your content. A lot of times we are overthinking the creative side.
Yeah.
So we are really, we're really shooting ourselves in the foot in terms of this kind of psychological, like, or you want to say like a what's the word? It's like a psychological issue connected to you wanting to put the best out. However, the overthinking of what should represent you in your best light, you're not really going to think about doing that quickly and not overthink your content. You want to overthink your content, and that's been a big issue for me too. I don't want to say dumb down my content, but make it shorter, make it less, make it, I'm not going to say softer, but add the edges that I need to have on it. If it's about something spiritual, or if it's about family, if it's about the music, to shift those different personalities, it's really a lot. And I know we all know, we've seen people's posts. Some have great posts and are interesting and captivating. People we don't know about, even topics we aren't even, let's say, aren't even part of our everyday conversations. Yet when someone has positioned themselves well on social media, the lore of the video, lore of video is very, very powerful, and very seductive in many ways. So this is that side. So the transcendence of it all, I guess that is what we may all maybe look in terms of looking forward to the future, where we see things going. More of the transcendental